How's it going, and welcome to The Guitar Effect. My name's Rob. In this video we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to be doing a little tour of my home studio. But before I do, please like and subscribe so you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing, and hit that notifications bell while you're at it. So I'm actually making this video because an Instagram friend of mine, Home Rig Share, which is an amazing page on Instagram that shares people's home studios, their guitar rigs and their pedal boards and stuff. It's a really amazing page. He's decided to start a YouTube channel where he's doing the same. So he asked would I make a home rig tour. So that's what I'm doing. And before I get into it, I'll just let you know that as well as making videos of guitar demos for YouTube, I'm also the principal songwriter in 2 or 3 bands here in Dublin. And I use the studio for demoing, like recording guitar parts for demoing and writing songs. So that's what this video is about, what equipment I use to do that and how I go about it. So let's get started. Starting off, I suppose, with the sort of brains of the operation, I suppose, which is the workstation here. I have my laptop, which is just a MacBook Pro from I think 2017, 18 maybe, and then I have my screen up on the wall. Generally I have my Logic session on the screen, and I use the laptop screen for other things, and I have a Mac keyboard on the table, and then either side of that you'll see these two Tannoy Reveal monitors. I don't really do audiophile type of work, so I don't really mix. I more compose, arrange, and that kind of thing, and I use my monitors just for listening to those arrangements and stuff. So I don't need particularly amazing monitors, they do the job fine. And so yeah, that's kind of the workstation area. You'll see over here I have the Cock amplifier. I'm going to go into that whole rack setup next. So this is my amplifier setup here, right? So I use this for recording all my guitar parts at home. I don't use any modelers or anything like that. I use pedal boards and the HX effects into real amplifiers. This is the main one that I use for doing that. It's the Cock Studio Tone 20 head. I have a video on that which I'll put up on screen now. It's a really amazing amplifier. I've actually done 2 videos on it. It works great as a multi-channel amp, and it works great as a pedal platform. It has an amazing emulated output on the back of it, which I run straight into my interface, which you can just kind of see here, which is a Focusrite Scarlett 6i6. And it is a 4-channel interface, right? So I have the Studio Tone 20 here running into an input on the back of this, which is just a line input from the direct emulated out of the back of that into the line input of this, and that's that and this small Nano Legacy head, which you can see here, which I'll talk about in a sec, are where I get all my core amp sounds from. So this is for like clean and JCM 800, so Plexi Clean JCM 800, and then this is for AC 30 style sounds, and both amps fulfill those roles really, really well. So underneath here you'll see this box with the kind of moving lights on a little bit. This is actually an outboard compressor that goes into my interface in input 4 in the back. So both the Cock and the Focusrite Platinum Penta compressor both go into the back of this Scarlett, so that's all out of the way. I really like that. And then I have the 2 inputs in the front for things that I want to use for different situations. So at the moment I have my vocal booth mic plugged in here, which I'll show you in a second, my vocal booth, which is basically a closet. And then I have my spare input here that I can use for anything else I want to use. I use this compressor for recording a lot of different things. I don't really know much about compression or how it works really, but the great thing about this is it has these different presets that you can set for different sources. So like I use the electric guitar one sometimes if I'm going in direct with a guitar. There's a piano, keyboards, and then vocals. So I use it for vocals when I'm recording all these videos, and I use it for vocals if I'm recording vocals in the vocal booth. And then I just set the preset, and one thing that I particularly love it for is on the acoustic guitar setting. I think it does a really amazing job of recording acoustic guitar. Okay, so the next thing you'll see here is my analog pedal board, which is one of my 2 options for effects when I'm recording, right? So you can see I have a whammy, which I use occasionally, and then I have a tuner, the Fux Fuzz, the Pigtronics Distortion, a EQ pedal, the Mosky Deluxe preamp, the Joyo Aquarius and Joyo Atmosphere for reverb and delay, and then I have the force field compressor at the back, the Keeley Supermod Workstation, and then I have a box at the back that is my interface box for the board, and I use that in conjunction with the cock amp going into the clean channel. I sometimes combine it with the dirty channel, but I can get a lot of different tones out of that. So then my alternative to the pedal board is this Line 6 HX Effects and Line 6 Expression pedal. What's great about this is I can use it for a lot of different reasons, and this is running via the effects loop into the British Invasion head that goes directly into my interface. So this is like Vox tones basically for the principal, and then I combine it with many different presets for different bands, for different videos that I've made, like, you know, the U2 one and the Pearl Jam one and the Pink Floyd one were all done like this. And it's a really impressive piece of kit. It can do a lot of different stuff, and again, I have a series of videos on this. So then the next thing you'll see is my 2 racks of guitars, right? So I'll just quickly go through them. So these here are all my F-style guitars, and they're just here, and then against the back wall is my, I suppose, Gibson style guitars, right? So I have my main kind of standard telly, which is the here, my main standard telly, which is the last one I made a video of, and it's kind of a Mexican 60s style telly. And then I have my 72 thin line, which is my oldest and favorite guitar. All of these have videos on them. I'll put a link to my playlist. Then I have my US Strat, which is my main sort of function and wedding kind of guitar. And then I have my parts caster here, which is kind of a P90 and humbucker, so it's kind of like a rock, sort of heavy-ish sounding Telecaster that I built myself. Well, I didn't build it, like, but I made it from parts. And then over here we come into the Epiphone Casino Coupe, which is my first fully hollow body guitar, and I use this for my P90 sounds. It sounds great. Get that to stay steady. And then there's my PRS SE McCarthy, I think it's called, which is another fully hollow humbucker guitar. My first ever PRS. Beautiful guitar, amazing sounding instrument. PRS is not really my thing, but I think as an alternative to a 335, which is surprising because it's fully hollow, it's an amazing choice. I think this was €900 second hand. They're a fair bit more than that new, and it's a really amazing guitar. It feeds back a lot less than you would think. And then there's my main semi, 335 style, which is my Quartz Source BV. I just bought this recently. It's my newest guitar, and I have a video of it on the channel as well. It's a really great alternative to like an Epiphone Dot or a Sire L7 or whatever they're called. This is the best budget semi I've ever played. It's absolutely excellent. And then my final guitar that I have in the room here is my Orville Les Paul. And this is my, like, after my telly, this is by far my favourite guitar. It's 24, 25 years old, something like that. Made in Japan. It's basically a burst copy, and it's absolutely phenomenal. So I have a video on that as well. It's a very early video. I may make another one. But if you can find one of these, it's the best Les Paul I've ever played. It's absolutely phenomenal. So one small thing worth mentioning is this is a picture of the actual gig poster from Pearl Jam in Dublin on the 22nd of June 2010, which was 2 days before I got married to my wonderful wife. And she bought this for me as a present. She's the actual original gig poster. She got it for me and I hung it on the wall, which is pretty cool. And then there's one other picture I want to show you. So here on the wall you can see this Pearl Jam picture. It's a signed, I think it's a print of I don't know whether it's actually signed by Pearl Jam, but it's a print with the signatures of all the lads from the band. And it is the alternative cover from 10. There was a version of 10 released straight after 10 that had 3 extra tracks, a live Wash and Dirty Frank on it. Again, my wife got me this as a present for Christmas one year. Hanging beside my bass, which I use to record all bass on all the videos I do. It's an old Ibanez bass from the kind of early 80s, which I think is the one Adam Clayton is playing actually in the video for New Year's Day. So that's super cool. So finally, this is my little vocal booth that I have in the room. So you can see the mics on the wall there. I have a cable that runs out the door and into the back of my interface. And I have a vocal mic, basically a condenser mic that's in one of those foam boxes basically, which when I need to record vocals, I just stick onto the top of that mic stand and it works a treat. So the last thing I want to talk about is these Sony wireless as opposed to Bluetooth headphones. And why they're amazing is there's no latency basically, right? So I can plug these into the headphone out of my interface. They go into a little transmitter via like a regular headphone cable into a transmitter. It sits on top of my monitors here and it comes out to these and I can monitor wirelessly, so I can use them in the vocal booth. I can use them anywhere when I'm recording guitars or anything like that. And they're noisy, so I wouldn't mix in them or anything like that, but in terms of flexibility for being able to get around recording vocals or anything like that, these are, I'll stick the model number in the description. I can't remember now, maybe it's on them. Doesn't seem to be, but they're amazing tool to have in a studio. And then they just plug in here for charging, leave them up there, and I kind of think that's everything really. Yeah, so there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. As you can see, you can fit a lot of stuff into a tiny little box room in a house, incidentally, which is exactly what this is. It's a spare bedroom in my house, and it fulfills the purposes of everything I want to do really, really well. So thanks for watching, and thanks to Home Rig Share for asking me to make this video. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video again soon. Cheers, bye bye.